Okay, welcome everybody officially. It is so good to see you guys, and I hope everyone's having an awesome day. I hit record. Oh, there it is. It is recording. Okay, usually it says recording. But it's great to see you guys for Dealmaker Zoom. It is awesome to see you. Thank you for those of you that are on live with me and everyone else catching this on replay. I hope you really enjoy it. You're going to learn so much today. It's going to be really great. Today we are going to talk about cash flow and how you can increase your cash flow. I think when I started as a landlord, I used to think that like if I could just cash flow a tiny little bit, that I could keep the deal together. But once I had a number of rentals, I realized that was a really bad strategy. It didn't work too well because you get maintenance, you get some turnover, you have a little bit of vacancy, and all of a sudden that $200 to $500 a month can be gone. So instead of doing that, what if you could cash flow over $1,000 a month? Who likes the sound of that, right? And if you cash flow a lot, that would really help you so much. And that's what we're going to talk about today. And that's how you're going to build a portfolio that lasts and stands the time that you need it to. Because the cool thing about a rental portfolio is that over time, you also grow equity because you get appreciation, you get amortization, you get value, you can do some value add, you can get market appreciation, your loan pays down, and then at the same time that you're creating cash flow, you create equity. And that's the cool thing about being having rentals of any sort, really. I can tell you, owning assets will allow you to become work optional. I think of you, Brian, because you left telecom as an engineer a few years ago. Personally, I left corporate America 20 years ago, which is mind blowing to me. But it goes really fast. And the way you become work optional or become financially independent is by owning assets that work 24/7 for you so you don't have to work. Today, we have a really special guest. Isabelle Guarino is with us from Residential Assisted Living. And I don't know about you guys, but I really think the riches are in the niches. It isn't just a cliche. It's just the way it works. And today we've got an amazing niche for you. You're going to want to have the ability to take some notes. So either do it in the notepad on your phone or have an old school pen. Joy, thank you for turning your video on too. I appreciate that very much. And we're going to learn a lot. Who's up for learning a lot today? Anybody? Raise your hand. Okay, high fives. So Isabel, you've been doing residential assisted living for how long now?
Gosh, we have owned our own homes for over 16 years and then been teaching people how to do it for like
Um,
11 now.
it goes fast, doesn't it?
It does. I'm like, it's weird to even say those numbers.
I know. I cannot believe that I've been out of corporate America 20 years. I mean, Cheryl told me that a couple months ago. I'm like, no way.
Yeah,
How did that happen? Like, I don't understand. It just goes really fast.
it
And
really does.
we were talking earlier, some people may want to make $10,000 a month in one property, but other people may want to do an entire portfolio of residential assisted livings. Is that doable?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Honestly, the first one's going to be the hardest. So after
Always
that,
is.
you got it under your belt, you've built the systems, and getting another one, and however many you want becomes easier and easier as you go along.
So everyone, like, be thinking, like, how many times do you need to make $10,000 a month to hit your next target, your next goal? We all set goals 3 months ago. And here we are, March 10th. So it's a good time to think back to what your goals were for this year. And if you don't have a regular cash flow goal, now's a great time to adjust. So you're going to learn a lot. I'm really glad you guys are here. Everyone's tracking. Isabel, I'm going to turn it right over to you.
Fabulous. Well, I am so excited to be here with you all today. Thank you for my beautiful introduction right there. I'm going to make sure to share my screen. You can see that good? There we
Hmm.
go. All right. If you're taking notes, just like Jim said, feel free to follow along. I'm going to share a ton here today. And then I'm so excited to be in Virginia in just a couple weeks with you all. Is everybody going to be there? Some people still haven't gotten their tickets yet. Go get your tickets if you have not already. Hope to see you all there. But today we're going to be covering how to cash flow 10K a month on just one residential assisted living home. So if that is why you're here, you're in the right room. Why is right now the best timing for senior housing? Personally, we've evaluated almost every investment you can do, and this one really we landed on because of timing. The silver tsunami of seniors is coming to shore, and we cannot stop it no matter how hard we try. If you have been following the money, you've been following the baby boomers for the last 70 plus years. Everything they touch is where the money goes. And the world looks very different in the coming 25 years than it looked in the last, 100 plus years. That 85 plus demographic is the fastest growing demographic on planet Earth today. The seniors are coming and we cannot stop it. But what we're talking about with residential assisted living is disrupting the senior housing industry, saying no more are big box facilities the only options for us as we age. There's actually something different, something smaller, something more unique where you can get the quality care that you're paying so much for. So when we say disrupting the senior housing industry, we're trying to do what Uber did to taxi, what Airbnbs did to hotels by being that, similar but different thing where seniors actually get what they're signing up for. So what's going to change in 2026? Gosh, guys, we could drive ourselves crazy asking this question, right? Politically, economically, socially, every day you turn on your phone, something new is happening, something crazy is jumping off the charts. I like to ask the opposite end of the question. What's not going to change? What's never going to go away? Because I don't know about you, but bear with me. Raise your hand if you're getting older or know someone who is, right? We're all aging. We all are going to age. And this is really something we cannot stop as much as, we may try. And it's something where you can't say, hey, mom, hang tight. Interest rates look funny. Sorry, I know you need care, but timing's not great. No, 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 no. When you need care, you need it and you need it now. It's not, hang on, dad. Real estate looks funny right now. Nope. Our journey began with a personal phone call. My grandmother fell, she broke her hip, and the doctor called and said she cannot go home alone. She needs help with her activities of daily living, 24/7 care. Who's coming to pick her up? And I don't know how many of you have received a phone call like that, but in that moment, everything changes. It's like, uh, what? She can't live alone, 24/7 care? What do you mean? And you really have three choices. One, someone could quit their job and go take care of them full time. Well, I'm not really born to be a caregiver. That's kind of a lot of changes to make overnight. I mean, that's a big decision. Two, you could get in-home care, which is insanely expensive. We'll go through the numbers in a moment. Or three, you put them into a home. And as soon as you say it, you get that pit in your stomach. You promised you wouldn't. You said you'd never. But these are the scenarios you literally find yourself in. My grandmother to 20 of us, mother to over seven, she cared for her mom until her last days, her husband till his last days. She deserved the best of the best. And she lived in upstate New York at the time. And as we toured every single home or facility we could find, everyone, the care was bad, the food was bad, they smelled, they had waiting lists, and they were expensive. And my dad, had been in real estate for 30 plus years and he did quick math and he was like, wait, 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 wait. We're going to pay 6 grand a month for her to go live in one of these homes, or we could own one. We could be cash flowing and she could live for free. It makes a whole lot of sense for us to get involved in the real estate side of this. And so, I don't make any guarantees, but the one I will make for you guys here today is that I guarantee you're going to get involved in senior housing one way or the other. Either you will be lying in the bed or writing the check for someone who is, or owning and operating the real estate, cash flowing, and having a place for your loved ones to go when you get that call. So, if nothing else, I urge you to do at least one of these homes in your portfolio just to have it there for your backup, for your emergency call. Today, I'm going to share with you the 5 keys to success in residential assisted living. Jim gave me a beautiful introduction right there. Who am I and why should you listen to me? I'm the CEO of Residential Assisted Living Academy. I personally own and operate 3 care homes here in Phoenix, Arizona. I invest in about 47 across the country. I absolutely love this topic. I host, the #1 podcast in the country on it. I've written books on it. I teach and train on it all across the country. This is my beautiful family. We've got another little one on the way. So when you see me and I got a big old belly, I'm not bloated. I'm almost 7 months pregnant. So I'll make the flight fine. We'll be all good. And no, I do not know where his red hair came from. Genes are a funny thing. Who knows? But I wanted to give you guys a little gift today for being here with us. You gave me your most precious asset, which is your time. And so I wanted to give you a gift. If you're on a computer, or maybe you can scan it with your phone. If you're on a phone, I think you can take a screenshot and press the QR code later. But if you scan the QR code and send me a DM with the word book, I'll send you a free copy of my book, Assisted Living Revolution. This is my brand new fiction book that shares the story of 3 families going through the obstacles of finding assisted living for their loved ones. It's an amazing kind of chicken soup for the soul vibe storytelling, and it's a really fun thing. So scan the code, send me a DM with the word book, and it will get you the link to the book right there. All right. Jim asked this question earlier, and to me, before we were chatting, when we got on, he's like, "Well, how many homes do people actually need? How much do they need to cover their monthly personal expenses?" And really, if you're taking notes, I want you to kind of jot that down. This is your freedom number if you don't know it automatically, but think about that for a moment. The house, the car, the kids, the food, the fun, all in. If you had a check coming in every single month, you could take that woo-saw breath, right? You could spend time with who you want, donate to what you want, live where you want, invest where you want. That is your freedom number. I'm blessed to share on this topic all across the country, and the #1 response that I get is about $10,000 per month. If you need more than that, that's a-okay. If 10 is your number, that's great because just one residential assisted living home can get you to that number. So you need 2 times that, that's 2 homes. You need 3 times that, 3 homes, right? We're not talking hundreds of doors, thousands of units. We're talking 1, 2, or 3 doors that could get you to your freedom number. I'm not the only one taking note. Meg the Stallion went back to Texas Southern University to learn how to open an assisted living facility. You may not be a fan, and don't worry, I'm not going to sing any of her songs here today. But why is a rapper getting involved in senior housing? You tell me. Maybe she sees the writing on the wall. Tyler Perry launched a TV show called Assisted Living. He's bringing it to mainstream media because he knows and understands this is going to be a topic in the American household, and he wants to be a part of that conversation. Lamar Odom, NBA star, opened a care home for his own grandmother. Jimmy Buffett opened Margaritaville themed retirement communities before he passed. I mean, that's pretty cool. I will sip a margarita till my last day. I don't know about you guys, but sign me up, right? Kim and Robert Kiyosaki, both attending our assisted living conference year over year. They invest in assisted living. And even Tony Robbins, who for years has been saying it's his #2 place he likes to invest. But that's great for all of them. Let's talk about the options for single family homes. It's like Jim knew all my slides before because he really led me right into this. I love it. You guys know all this. I'm not teaching you anything new. Obviously, when you have a single family home, you could do a fix and flip. You buy the home, you renovate it, you sell it. You make that money one time. And as soon as you sell it, you're out of the job. You've got to go get another one and do it again, and another one and do it again. And that sure looks like the rat race to me, right? Because if you stop, you got no income, right? And that whole waiting period, you might be going 3 to 5 months with no income. You're praying that the economy doesn't flip, that interest rates don't go crazy, that construction doesn't double in cost so that you can actually squeeze a profit. It's not cash flow, it's cash now. Single family rentals, this is cash flow, but at a couple $100 a door, you're going to need a lot of doors to really break out of that freedom number. And each door comes with tenants, toilets, potentially unpaid rent, and drama, right? The heater breaks, the AC goes down, the floor, the roof, the this, the that. That could be your profit for a whole year. It's not really a month to month cash flow play. It's a long term, let me hold this house for 15 years and hopefully sell it at a high and make a big buyout there. But if anyone has told you you're going to get rich in single family rentals, probably not, right? At the end of the day. Group home. Some of you have a heart for those who have clean, sober recovery needs, developmentally disabled adults, battered women, foster kids who've aged out of the system, whatever it may be. If your heart is calling you to that, I highly encourage you to go that direction. You know, it is higher cash flow at $1,000 a month or more, and not everyone is called to serve the same people. So go to what you are called to. Airbnbs. If you follow me on social, you may think I hate Airbnbs, but I don't. All right, I stay in them all the time. I don't think that they're the safest investment right now, with cities like Atlanta, Scottsdale, Nashville, Honolulu practically shutting it down for owners, making it almost impossible overnight because there's no federal protection for Airbnb owners. Owning and operating a residential assisted living home, bringing in $10,000 a month. If I had one single family home and I had to decide what to do with it, it makes a whole lot of sense to go that direction. But Proverbs says, he who doesn't look ahead remains behind. And if you're not religious, Wayne Gretzky says, I like to skate where the puck is going, not where it has been. This is about looking at the future and seeing what's to come. Because truly, you guys, the silver tsunami is going to be a crisis in our country, maybe your community, hopefully not your family. It could be the biggest opportunity of your lifetime if we fix the crisis, if we seize the opportunity. Now, I know I shared with you that there was three options when my own grandmother needed care. We could do it. We could pay for in-home care or put her into a home or facility. I want to talk about in-home care for a moment. As of right now, today, the national average for in-home care is $35 per hour if you need a caregiver to come move in with you and be with you 24/7. So if you need 24/7 care at $35 an hour times 30 days in a month, that's over 25 grand a month for just the care. Not the mortgage, food, electricity, cable, medication, you name it. Pile all that on, we might be talking 26, 27 grand to keep your loved one at home. Well, most Americans can't afford that. So then they say, oh, whoa, I don't need 24/7. I just need someone to watch them while I go to work, not that 9 to 5 coverage. I'll take nights and weekends. Well, say goodbye to Dealmaker Catalyst, right? Say goodbye to book club, wine club, church, poker night, whatever it is you like to do. Because when a senior needs care, they need it and they need it now. It's not, hey, mom, jump in the car. We're going to Johnny's soccer game. Uh-uh. It's painful for her to get out of bed, let alone get in the car, drive for 20 minutes, walk to the bleachers, sit for 2 hours. It's just not happening. Now, the average cost of assisted living in our country right now today is $6,200 per month per person. Depending on where you live or like to invest, this number goes up and down greatly. And also keep in mind, this is our average. So it includes our friends on government funding as well as our friends in private pay. And it brings us to our average number right there. So at the end of the day, what is residential assisted living? Simply, it's a group home for seniors that provides assistance with the residents' activities of daily living, their ADLs. Pretty much everything you do from the moment you get up out of bed to the moment you go to bed at night, including bathing, toileting, eating, showering, right? Eating, brushing your hair, brushing your teeth, taking medication. Seniors need help with 3 to 5 ADLs before they move into assisted living. They're not moving in for funsies, okay? Now, it's not a Brookdale, Sunrise, Atria, a big commercial facility with long hallways and impersonal staff where you are literally called by your room number. Not what we do, okay? The, they call people by number in prison, not where we want to send Granny to the local big box. No, 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 no. But we're also not talking about golden girls, right? For mature women who live in a home who need minor help with landscaping or changing a light bulb. This is called independent living. You may see even these communities popping up with the pickleball and the Zumba and the this and the that. If you can play pickleball, you're not in assisted living, right? You're in independent living where you still have all of that capability. We're talking about residential homes in residential settings. Here's some photos of some of my properties right there. They're single level typically. You can do multi level. You add in a residential elevator or chairlift. These homes are in nice parts of town. They're appreciating assets. They're large homes, right? Typically lots of bedrooms and bathrooms for each senior to have their own comfortable space. And inside the homes, the floors are smooth and clean. The furniture is age appropriate. Inside the bedrooms, there's beds, dressers, nightstands, and tables, just like you or I may have in our bedrooms. And the bathrooms, they've got ramps, guardrails, handrails, things to keep the seniors safe. Who's living in the home? Well, none other than our adorable seniors just living out their golden years. And I love to share this photo because you can see the caregiver sitting and enjoying the meal, the festivity, the celebration with the seniors. You know, in a big facility, you may never see a scene like this. And it's not because those caregivers don't care and ours magically do. It's because the ratios. In a large facility, it's typically 30 seniors to one caregiver. In a residential assisted living home, it's a 4-to-1 or 5-to-1 ratio. If you're getting paid the same to do that job, which one do you want? Almost everyone's going to pick the 4-to-1, the 5-to-1. You get to hang out in a mansion all day, get, fed 3 meals a day. You can actually do the job you've signed up to do. Caregiving's a tough job, but these seniors deserve the best of the best in their last years of life. And we go hard in the home, okay? We celebrate everything from Mardi Gras to Thanksgiving to Christmas, Halloween, Valentine's, you name it, because they deserve it all. Our company motto is to do good and do well because reality is, you guys, you already know there's so many ways you can make money in real estate. Truly, there is. The options are endless, but not every one of those options makes you feel good about what you're doing, makes you feel proud of the work that you're doing. Any of my landlords here today on the line? Any landlords here in the room? Couple landlords. Have you ever received a check for $6,000 wrapped in a love letter from one of your tenants? Anybody? Anybody? No? Listen, in residential assisted living, you're getting that every single month. The families are grateful. They're saying, thank you for loving my mom. Thank you for caring for my dad. Thank you for allowing me to be a daughter or son once again with a big fat check. That's what doing good and doing well is all about. And if you want to feel good about your investments and be proud of the work that you do, you want to have enough income to live the life you've dreamed of, stop settling, stop working overtime for not enough pay, or maybe it's about leaving a legacy. You really want to leave true wealth for your family, a true legacy that can be passed from generation to generation. This might be what you're looking for. Sorry, guys. Thanks for bearing with me. I've had a crazy cough, so I'm trying to mute every time I need to cough. The facts and statistics are there's 76 million baby boomers and 10,000 people turning 65 every single
Oh
day.
my goodness.
Yeah. 4,000 people turning 85 and 90% of seniors want to stay in their own home, but 70% will daily care for an average of 3.5 years. That's how long they're staying in your assisted living home. Now, I'm sure right about now, some myths and misconceptions are popping up in your mind like, hey, this sounds great, but I'm just a real estate investor. I don't want to work in the home. I don't want to be a caregiver. I'm not a doctor or a nurse. Don't worry. I don't work in my homes and I don't show you how to work in yours. We show you how to hire the licensed appropriate staff so that you can sit in the owner's box working on, not in the business. Now, liability, is it going to be through the roof? Nope. It's $2 to $3 per resident per day. 10 residents, 900 bucks a month. It's a line item. You definitely want it. You definitely need it. And if you're thinking about that or concerned about that, that's a good thing because it tells me you care about seniors and their safety. So you're probably the right person for this industry. Next, you can't find good employees. Oh, these are fighting words. We just talked about the employee experience and those caregivers and kind of what opportunity you are giving them versus what they're being offered in the market currently. You already have such a better opportunity, but pause all of that. If you are a business owner in any sense of the word and you have trouble keeping, retaining employees, it's time to look inside, right? Because if they're leaving, people don't leave jobs, people leave people. So you need to love on them, respect them, appreciate them a whole lot more. And in our training, we focus so heavily on staffing because you're not going to be the one working and being in the home 24/7. So we have to focus on getting those right people in the right seats to run the business operationally. Do you need medical experience? Listen, you don't, but if you are a medical professional, you definitely can use that as a feather in your cap by marketing the home as doctor owned, nurse owned, whatever it may be. But you do not need that because you are not working in the home as a caregiver or administrator. An HOA won't let me do this. Bah humbug. Well, it's simply not true. Because of the Federal Fair Housing Act, we are actually a protected class. So any state, city, angry neighbor, or HOA cannot tell you no. Now, that's a beautiful thing. It doesn't mean that they won't try, right? They might try. And if that happens, we created the RAL National Association that represents all 30,000 group homeowners across the country. So if you run into trouble, who are you going to call? Not Ghostbusters, okay? You're going to call the RAL National Association, which has legal backing and power for you to fight through that because we're federally protected and we know that we'll win every time. Next, seniors can't afford this. Listen, if we are targeting the exact correct demographics, then they absolutely can. If you're choosing the wrong location, which real estate's about location at the end of the day, then yeah, it won't work. This is not if you build it, they will come. This is very strategically finding the perfect piece of real estate and creating this for the need of the market. So, how much money can you make? Well, first we've got to ask how much assisted living costs in your area. We just found out the national average is $6,200 per month per person. This website's a great one. Feel free to screenshot it, jot it down if you're taking notes. carescout.com/cost of care. Don't forget that /cost of care. When you go there, you can type in the area you live or where you like to invest, and it will show you the average cost of assisted living in your market. The reason I love this site so much is because there's a toggle button. My mom's not going to need care for 25 years. So I can bump that up and see how much it's projected to cost in the coming years. You guys know the cost of care has increased over 100% over the last 20 years. It's more than literally doubled itself. Absolutely astronomical, the rates that this is going up. And we are currently 1.3 million beds short. Do we think it's going to continue to go up? Oh, yeah, baby. It's going to skyrocket. With 76 million seniors in the next 5 years coming into this, flooding this market. Right now, the average rates, Hawaii has the tippy top of the iceberg, $12,000, $12,089 every single month. Now, it costs more to live in Hawaii, right? The food costs more, labor costs more, real estate costs more. So guess what? Care costs more. Alaska's next. We've got Massachusetts, Washington, D.C., Connecticut, Vermont, New Jersey, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, Delaware, and Washington. These are your top 10. Now, many of you here are from Virginia, and I know Jim was too, so I wanted to give you guys the Virginia stats. US is 6,200, but Virginia is right about 69 and a half right there, a little bit higher than US average. Harrisonburg, and I'm probably going to butcher all these names, but Harrisonburg is right there at the top, a little over 8,000. Richmond's next, Blacksburg, Charlottesville, Virginia Beach, Staunton. Is that how we say it? Staunton? Yeah, close enough.
Stanton.
Stanton, okay. Roanoke, Lynchburg, and then Winchester. Is any of this surprising to my VA people? Nah,
I mean, I'm surprised Winchester is that low. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but the number in Richmond's close. I
yeah.
agree.
How do you know anyone paying for assisted living, or are you for a loved one?
Me?
Yeah,
Well, my mom did for a while. She was in memory care.
yeah,
So I know how hard it is to find the right facility
yes.
and finding the right fit and how expensive it is the reality of it.
Do you know how much she was paying?
It was in the ballpark of the number that's on there.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, plus or minus that. So it's the reality of it.
for sure. So, this doesn't mean, guys, if you love mom, you move her to Harrisonburg, and if mom didn't love you, you move her to Winchester, okay? If mom or dad lives in Richmond, that's probably where they're going, right? It's where they live, eat, sleep, work. That's what they're confident and comfortable paying. So let's break down the numbers. How can one average RAL home set you free? We know the national average right there was right around 6,200. So I even bumped it down a little just to 6,000 just for easy, clean math. And we're timesing that by 10 residents. Depending on where you live or like to invest, you're going to be allowed to have somewhere between 6 and 16 seniors in the home. All right, so 10, bringing us into $60,000 a monthly gross income. But there are a lot of expenses in this industry. In our training, I go through these line by line, but for the sake of me whipping through this today, I want us to focus on the two numbers at bottom, 30,000 versus 40,000. 30,000 is if you are going to live in the home, work in the home as the caregiver, be the chef, wipe the bums, buy the groceries, do it all. No, 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 no. Not what I do and not what I show you how to do. I want to show you how to hire that licensed appropriate staff. And to do that, we need to be able to pay them. So we're going to use our higher expense line right here, $40,000 a month for this very average 10-bed home. Debt service, could we get a pretty nice home in most parts of the country for 10K a month? I'd say so, right? And that leaves us with $10,000 of monthly net income or $120,000 of annual net income on one average home. Now, I got to say something right here. You all do not feel like an average crowd because an average person is sitting at their 9 to 5. An average person might already be clocked out, watching Netflix, scrolling on TikTok, doing whatever they do, opening their 5 o'clock beer. I don't know. But an average person isn't showing up to a webinar to learn more, invest in themselves, grow their skills, become better, elevate. That's not average. You are above average. And so, when I would visit average homes for my grandmother, I didn't want to leave my goldfish there, let alone my granny. Okay. So many of you are going to say, no way, an average home. No, 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 no. I want something a little bit nicer, something a little bit better, maybe a little bit more luxurious. So maybe it's $7,200 times the same 10 residents. Because it's the same 10 residents, it's the same cost of labor, food, electricity. It's the mortgage that goes up or down, right? It's your debt service. So we bumped it from 10 to 12. This one home now bringing you in $20,000 a month or 240K a year. This is my students Scott and Michelle out in Metairie, Louisiana. These are their numbers. This is happening all over the country. Well, some of you are thinking, okay, well, what you said 6 to 16. So what if I had 15 or 16 residents? Seeing 10 is great, but let's go crazy. What if we did a luxury 15-bed home like my student Brian in New Jersey? He's charging $8,000 a month times 15 seniors, brings in $120,000 every month right there. The overhead here does increase because it's not 10, it's 15. So we need to pay for more care, which is our biggest line item, more food, electricity, you get it, right? Debt service, it's going to cost us a pretty penny to house 15 people, right? So $20,000 a month right there. This one home bringing in Brian $40,000 a month or 480K a year. You guys, I know people who make $40,000 a year, and I've got a lot of students who are making $40,000 a month on one door. That's game-changing money. I mean, that's life-changing money. Really think, what would that do for you if you had one door that you spent 5 hours a week working on, bringing you in $40,000 a month? That's pretty incredible. Some of you would quit your jobs. Others of you would go travel. Some of you would go hang with the kids, donate more, pay off debt, whatever it is. This really allows you to dream, to breathe, to be able to do that. Jim, you unmuted. I don't want to skip you.
Well, no, I'm just thinking like who would not love these numbers? Rentals are, as they go up in many markets, are getting really tight.
Yep.
At least here in Virginia, most of our markets, unless you're in, like a lower area, it's getting expensive and the cash flow is getting tighter. Flips are getting tighter too. So people are
Yep.
looking for alternatives. I think it's a great niche that deserves attention.
Yeah.
Isabel, Isabel,
Yeah.
what I don't want to interrupt you. I apologize. Can you talk about, you said 6 to 16, so I'm assuming you've looked at zoning in different areas. I'm from Phoenix and Tucson as well, but
Yeah.
but I'm in Jackson. So like I know here we have co-living houses, and to stay under the radar, 6 unoccupied, unrelated residents. But I'm assuming this has to be zoned a certain way. It can't be R1, right?
They are zoned residential. So
They
in
are.
Arizona, you're limited to 10. It's a licensed assisted living home, right?
Okay.
There's 22 different names for RAL across the country. So everyone listening, it's not assisted living for you. Potentially, it could be
Okay.
personal care home, board and care, RCFE, ALF type B. There's 22 different names, but in Phoenix, it is a licensed assisted living home and you can have 10 seniors in the home. So it's not the same rules as co-living or shared housing or group housing
Okay.
because we have our whole own category. These already exist in all 50 states. So all
Okay.
50 states are between that 6 to 16 mark.
I got you. Okay, that's
Yeah.
good info.
You got it. And also, just so anybody's thinking, well, how the heck are you fitting 16 or 15 people in a single family home? Okay, I'm using that term, but we're talking a large luxury property. When I was showing photos earlier, I was saying, hey, this is a beautiful home in a really nice part of town. We're not shoving 15 people in a 3 bed, 2 bath, right? We've got a gorgeous home that maybe already is 6,000 or 7,000 square feet and it's not set up like a 15 bed, 10 bath. Maybe when we buy it, it's a 6.5, but it's 7,000 square feet. Okay, well, we do a renovation to add more bedrooms and bathrooms, right? Homes aren't going to come ready to go for this. You're going to renovate them. You could custom build, you could do additions. There's so many different ways to get started in this. But really, if you had, more than one of these, if you had 3 homes within 20 to 40 minutes of each other, that could really be game changing. You can share resources and it can be a great way for you to become truly financially free.
Hey,
I
Isabel,
mentioned
where in Phoenix are yours? I'm just curious.
Scottsdale and Phoenix.
Scottsdale and Phoenix. Okay.
Yep. Yep. There's really 4 ways to get started with this. And one is buying an existing RAL. You're buying the business and buying the real estate. So some of you live in markets where these may be for sale in your area and you can buy an existing one, get in the game right away. That's a 3 to 6 month timeline. 2, buying a single family home and converting it to become. This is going to depend on how much renovation needs to be done, but typically that's a 6 to 12 month timeline. And 3, buying land and building custom from the ground up. For those of you that are comfy with building, construction, that can be a beautiful way, especially if you live in a market where you can have more than 10 seniors. It's sometimes hard to do that mega of a renovation. A custom build could be a great way to get started. And that could be a 1 to 3 year timeline, depending on, the build, the construction, weather permitting. I want to give us flexibility there. The fourth way to do this is you could lease a home to use for RAL, and you could kind of be on either side of the coin here. You could own the real estate and lease it to an operator, or you could say, I want to get in the game fast and I don't have the money for the real estate. I'm going to lease from someone and I'm going to operate the business. You could be on either sides of this coin. Now, there's pros and cons to all of these, right? That bottom one taking anywhere from 3 to 6 months, depending on which side of the coin you're on. But there's options, and options are a beautiful thing. I want to share with you the 5 keys to success and then how you can kind of learn a little bit more. And then I we'll close with just, saying, come say hi at Dealmaker. And if you haven't grabbed your tickets, come get them. So 5 keys to success. Let's dive into these. And if you guys have questions, feel free to continue to drop them in the chat and we'll kind of go down and answer as many as you guys want at the end. I'll stick around as long as you need. When it comes to location, you guys, this is about density, demand, and demographics. This is not if you build it, they will come. I've said it once, I'll say it twice, I'll say it over and over again, right? We have to determine that this is in the perfect demographic zone. And that's the first thing I'm looking at. Somebody will show me a 6-6. Somebody literally DM'd me a 6-bed, 6-bath home the other day. Hey, look at this home. It's perfect. It's perfect. First thing I did, I didn't even look at the home. I grabbed the zip code, right? And I put it right into demographics on Google. I'm looking, what you're looking for now is where the majority population is 50 to 70 years old, making 2 times the median income, homeowners, college grads. That is not the senior, that's the adult child. That's who we're targeting because they make the decisions about where mom or dad goes at that point, and they do not want to drive 45 minutes down the road because it's cheaper. They want to drive 5 minutes on their way home from work. So you want to be right in their area. 50 to 70, upper middle class, making 2 times the median income, homeowners, college grads. That's the demographics we're targeting. And then we want to know, is there density, is there demand? And now we're looking for the property, but location is everything. So neither of these are care homes. Don't worry. No grannies are living in this multi-level mobile home park. That's God knows where, right? They couldn't even get up those stairs if they tried. But listen, if it is a level 1 area, if you are scared to go at night, if you lock when you get to the, red light, don't leave Granny there. Okay, if you're scared, she's scared. Absolutely not. But you also don't need to go to level 5, the nicest part of town with, where the NBA and NFL and, NHL players live. No, 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 no. Okay. We want to stay in the sweet spot, level 3, 4. That's what we're looking for. Financially, that looks like this. If the cost of care is under 6,200, then guess what? It's probably below average because that was our average number right there. So staying in that sweet spot is important. I know some of you are looking at level 5 saying, ooh, sign me up, baby, 9 to 12 per person. But pause. Look at the shape of the chart. It gets smaller at the top. Your opportunity zone shrinks because if someone can afford that, might they be able to afford in-home care? Potentially, right? So you want to set yourself up for a business that works today and into the future. And that's why I encourage you to stay in that sweet spot. Donald and Talinda Kelly, they said, thank you to the REL Academy. It's been amazing the support we've received from you guys. We wouldn't have been able to make this journey without you. He was a pastor. She was a stay-at-home mom out in Kansas City. They came to the training and they opened this 12-bed memory care home out in Kansas City. Absolutely beautiful right there. Number 2 is your team. In other forms of real estate, we can DIY till the day we DIE, but not in RAL, all right? You have got to build your team. You've got to build your team so that everything's not falling on you. You cannot be it. Your team is what allows you to get down to the 5 hours per week. So you can repeat and get the next home and scale and get even more. Your caregivers are 24/7 with the seniors. They're doing shift work, coming and going. It's not typically live in, because if it's live in and you have to fire them, now they're jobless and homeless, right? We don't want to do that. So shift work, right? They come and go, and your licensed administrator in real estate world, they're kind of like our PM, right? Our property manager. They do all the hiring, firing, training, onboarding of the caregivers. They do all the marketing tours of the families and the seniors and the intake, right? They're running everything. So what are you doing? You're doing meetings with them every week to make sure the roof's not on fire and that they don't need anything. And that's your role as the owner operator. Jose and Lillian, they said, best advice, find a mentor and save time. My wife and I became students of Rala and we used their 10 years of experience to speed up our success. The opportunity is now. They opened a home out in San Antonio, Texas, and I got to go visit them at their home. Number three is clients. Keep this in mind. The resident is not your client. The kids are the key. I've kind of mentioned this a little bit when I talked about demographics and even, who we're targeting, but who really is your client? It's not the seniors in the home. It's daughter Judy. It's son Bob. It's the adult child who's making those decisions. I said a statistic earlier that 90% of seniors do not want to move into assisted living. So if you put marketing dollars that speak to them, they're like this. Oh, I don't want to hear what you have to say. They don't want to come. They don't want to come. They're trying to avoid you as much as possible. So it would be a waste of your money. You've got to speak to daughter Judy, address her concerns, her wants, her needs, answer her questions. She's the one making those decisions. And that will save you a ton in marketing to help fill those beds. Ben out in Oklahoma, he said, resources, resources, resources. The RL Academy was hugely helpful in getting our home up and running. And one of those key pieces was the resources they offer, which are second to none. Him and his wife, Katie, have 3 homes out in Oklahoma City. Carla, she said, I signed up because I wanted to learn from their mistakes, and oh boy, did I. The good, the bad, and the ugly. We always say that in our training that I can't just tell you all the good stuff. I got to tell you the bad and the ugly so you have an all-encompassing view of this industry so you can really make a decision if you want to do this. Because it's a big deal. It's starting a business that's going to change lives, but you've got to be really committed and your why has to be strong enough. She said, working with Rolla gave me the assurance that there's always an answer. Their support has been priceless. Her homes are out in Georgia. All right, when it comes to how seniors pay for care, don't focus on Medicaid, focus on private pay clients and maximize LTC insurance. So some may pay, I'm sorry, I said Medicaid in the first one. I misspoke. Some pay subsidized with Medicare, some subsidized with the VA. 10% of the population has a long-term care insurance, but most of your seniors are using cash, their savings, their IRA, their investments, or they're selling physical properties that they own and using that capital to pay for their care needs. Of course, there's my last category of seniors who say, I'm going to let the kids figure it out, right? They said, I took care of them. It's their turn to take care of me. And there's a lot of people who fall in that category. So if you haven't had these conversations with your loved ones, I highly encourage that you do. Walt, when he came to the training, he was a legend in the industry. He was over 80 years old when we met him. He custom built his own RAL home because he didn't trust that his kids were going to take care of him in the way that he wanted. He moved right in, didn't pay a dime, and cash flowed till the day he died. I love it. Absolutely amazing. And when we met him, we said, come to the training. Come tell us what we're missing out on. You've been in the biz for longer than us at that time. And he said, I learned how I was leaving over $15,000 a month on the table. That's over $2 million during those 15 years. I felt sick to my stomach, but grateful to find out too. Thank you to Rala. If you're in this industry or know someone who is and you're not cash flowing the way I'm talking about, maybe there's something left to be learned. We end up now teaching a lot of people who've gotten into this space and then say, I didn't know all of this stuff. I kind of jumped in unknowingly. And we kind of have to reteach them and go through a lot of systems. And that's number 5, saving yourself time, energy, and money. And systems are critical for success, especially if you're type A like me. You need systems around team building. How do you identify, train, and retain the best of the
Isabelle,
best?
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Can you go back one slide? I want to get a picture of that acronym. I love it.
yeah. Let me go back for you.
I'll be fast. I'm sorry.
You're good.
Okay, thank you.
I'm glad you're tracking, Brian, so thanks.
It's a good thing. All right. We want systems around team building. How do we identify, train, and retain the right staff so you're not getting called in for caregiver shifts? So everything's being run properly. We know that we're quick to fire people when they're not staying in alignment. All of this stuff just gets systemized, and that's how it becomes protocol instead of hoping, wishing, guessing. Real estate, some of you are pros at this, but what's the little minor nuances that we need to know about location, acquisition, renovation when it comes to RAL versus other forms of real estate? And then funding. Some of you are thinking, hey, this is amazing, but how the heck am I going to fund this deal? Well, listen, there's many different ways to fund an RAL, 7 ways that I really love to shout out. My two most popular and favorite is private money through syndications, right? You already have a great connection here with the deal maker group, and probably a lot of people who are saying, I don't want to be on the real estate or the operations side, but I'd love to invest in someone who has a sexy deal where I'm going to get great returns. This is an untapped market for you. And that's why being a part of this group is so special. Two, SBA 7A or 504 loans. They cover not just the real estate, but the real estate, the renovation, the carrying cost, the FF&E, and they pay you as the managing partner all throughout that deal. Woo, love that. SBA is phenomenal for this. Next, partners. We talked about it. You can't DIY in this. There's a lot of partners that are involved in starting an RAL. You've got to surround yourself and really build relationships in this industry to make sure that you can take this to the next level and that you can continue to run this on a day to day without having to be hands on. Operations is next. Think of this as the documents you need within your home to get licensed and stay valid with the state. Your policies and procedures, your emergency plans, menus, and schedules. These are all important things that you're going to have to submit to the state to go get that license on the physical home. Carla Lee, she was 26 years old when she came to the training. She said, I took the course in February. I had a business in July. I spoke with others in my area, and for many of them, it took years to get their doors open because they didn't have the support I had. She opened 9 homes in less than 3 years, you guys. Can you imagine 26 years old? And you know what's even crazier? To add to this, she didn't even have like a dime to her name. She borrowed her mom's car and drove from New Mexico to Phoenix to come to the training because she didn't have enough money for an airline ticket.
That is amazing. Think about that.
Amazing.
She's set for
Truly.
life, isn't she?
Set for life. For life. Absolutely incredible. Scott, I showed you his numbers earlier, the 20K a month. He said, we credit RL Academy to our success every day. Can you do this on your own? Maybe, but why would you? Rala has everything you need to do this quicker, saving you time and energy. Snowing, a little shout out saying, attending the 3-day course was one of the best decisions I ever made. Thank you to the Rala team for your guidance and support. He came in September of 2020. I'm sorry, January of 2023, opened his first home September of 2023. The following September, opened another home. The following September, opened another home. I'm hoping this September he opens a home. He's got one per year at this rate. I love it. I can go through success story after success story, but the real question is, will you be the next success story? So if you want to chat with a team member or check out any of our free resources, this is a little QR code or website for you right there, ral101.com. I don't have anything to sell to you today. I just wanted to share this concept with you and also invite you to get your tickets to Dealmaker. I will have a booth there. I'll be speaking there. So I look forward to meeting so many of you guys there. Our mission is to positively impact 10 million people by providing high quality assisted living for seniors in a residential home environment. And if that is kind of calling to you, if it's ticking your boxes, then I encourage you to go that direction. And I'm more than happy to help guide you on your journey and just be a part of this whole thing that we can all do together, doing good and doing well. So thanks so much for having me, guys. Happy to stick around and answer any questions that you might have today. And thanks for having me, Jim.
We do have a few questions.
Let's do it.
So I'm also monitoring on Facebook, and one of them said, how can we figure out the zoning in our area that we
Zoning.
would need
So
to do this?
Great question. So typically it's going to be zoned residential. The only exceptions would be, for example, let's say you are in a market where they say you can have 6 seniors in a home, and you run the math and you're like, hey, it doesn't really work. Okay, so you want more than six. Well, more than six exists. There's 100 bed, there's a 300 bed, there's a 50 bed down the road, but they're zoned commercial. So all you do is go to a commercially zoned place where now you can have more. Now, just because you're zoned commercial doesn't mean you need to build the next Brookdale. You can still build a gorgeous 16-bed home that looks extremely residential, but you do have to now have commercial fire suppression, commercial parking, and some other commercial elements. So if you want to go above the number that you are allowed in your area, you may have to change zoning, but for the most part, it is zoned residential.
That was awesome, Valerie. I love that behind you there, coming out of the grass. It was amazing. Okay, so are you doing, let's see, J&J said, are you doing skilled.cate where you need nurses?
There's no nurses and doctors with this. It's just licensed assisted living. So if they need skilled nursing, then they have to go to a skilled nursing facility, a SNF,
Oh,
where it's
skilled care.
doctors, nurses, gurneys, IVs. About 95% of the seniors will pass in your home. They will never need to go on to that. Only 5% will because of some, ailment or really bad fall or something like that. But keep in mind, we talked about ratios in a big facility when it's 30 to 1.
Oh, I
If you,
know.
there we
Yeah,
go. If
1,000
you
plus.
fall,
yeah.
right, the average response time, you guys, if you press your button, is 2 hours in a large
Depends on
facility.
it. It could be as low as 42 or 40.
In a
Yeah.
in in a
Just depends on the
residential
area. I
assisted
took a
living
snapshot.
home, it's 90 seconds. So it's a vast difference
So instead
between.
of doctors and nurses, would this be like a CNA type level?
Correct. You have licensed caregivers and a licensed administrator. So the caregivers are CNAs, maybe HHAs, but not doctors and nurses.
Who else has a question? You can unmute.
So,
Brian, you
so I have
can.
another one. I have another one for you, Isabel.
Take it away.
So you have to have this. Is it like is it a nurse or nurse prac? Is it a
CNA.
CNA? Okay, it's a CNA. So I guess you have multiple CNAs because you don't want to be one deep in case something happens, correct?
So I don't know when you popped on, but we showed a ratio slide. So you want 4 to 1 or 5 to 1, basically. So if
Okay.
you had a 10-bed home, you might have two on in the day, one on at night, and you also have an administrator who's floating, right? So they're not maybe 100% of the time in the home, but maybe they're there during higher traffic times.
Okay. I may have stepped away to get something to drink when that slide was up, but
No
thank you.
worries. Hi, Joy.
I have a question as
Take
well.
it
My
away.
my father-in-law has 24/7 care right now, and even just slightly dealing with like the nurses when they call out, just all the drama that like I've always wanted to do this, but just dealing with him and his one, I can't imagine the chaos. So my question is, the my question is in that like profit and loss kind of net thing that you had up there, did
Yeah.
that include like an operator, like a manager, or are you the one that's like, you know?
No, it does include the licensed administrator who is
Oh,
doing
sweet.
all of that day to day. So
Oh,
yes, so you are paying them and they're in charge of hiring, firing, training, onboarding your caregivers, right? Which I will also tell you, one-on-one caregivers are the bougiest caregivers of all, right? That's they choose that job because they view it as the highest paid, easiest. Because when we said earlier, hey, average rate is $35 an hour, I'm not paying $35. The reason that it costs that much is because you're paying an agency, right? And then you're paying them. So they might only be getting 25, the agency is getting the other 10. And so they get paid more. They only have to deal with one person. So they're kind of the bougiest of the caregivers, which makes sense why you're having the hardest time with them. Um, but Yeah, you do have an administrator. So that is not you. You own and operate the real estate and the business. You are not in the day to day.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
So what are some keys to finding a great administrator is what we're being asked in the chat.
Yes, and how do you find a quality one? So in the training, we focus so heavily on staffing, you guys, because if you're coming from the real estate world, this is probably your biggest blind spot where it's like, well, I've never really hired this. I don't know who they are, so they're gonna, just so many questions. And so that's why getting, whether it's from us or someone else, getting trained on this is going to be incredibly important before you just dive in and buy a property and be like, I'm gonna cash flow. Hold on, there's a lot to learn about the business. But how you find that quality staff is obviously doing very intensive interviews. Logistically, it's posting on Indeed and Craigslist and LinkedIn and all these places, and then you're interviewing. You want to ask extremely specific questions. We literally give you a questions guide in the training so that you know exactly what to ask them. And then it's the onboarding with them. So you're not onboarding caregivers, you are getting them bought into your business and company vision and really bringing them alongside. So there's a lot of interaction that you are doing with that administrator, especially in the beginning. But you really want to be slow to hire, quick to fire. Make sure they fit your company core culture and values. Put the right things on the job listing, ask the right things in the interview, and really continue to not just onboard and train in the beginning, but keep that touch point with them. Continue to go on with them. A lot of people hire and then say, "Well, now you know the job, you're free to go." No, you want to continually kind of nurture that relationship. And so that's super important.
So one of the questions is about SBA financing, which is a type of financing. Isabel, I love this.
Yeah,
I mean, I think it's a perfect fit. A good friend of mine, Bo Eckstein, does tons of SBA. He's
yeah.
a good real estate guy and he's niched back into this SBA stuff. I think it's great. So talk about how that works a little bit.
We love SBA for this. And again, when you come to the training, we kind of connect you with 4 SBA agencies who work with a lot of our students. So they know exactly what to ask you for. They know what these deals look like so that they're not going to get you all the way down the line 6 months into paperwork and then say, we only do deals over 5 million. That will happen if you just go to a random SBA person. Okay. So make sure that you are using the right person who understands this industry. But James, I know you're asking, is it difficult for them to fund the property? No, they're funding the real estate, the renovation, the carrying cost, the FF&E, and they pay you as a managing partner all throughout the deal. So literally, you get that loan and you're getting technically a check day one because you're running this whole project. And you can't go, let's say you're doing a renovation that's going to take you 12 months. You can't go a year with no paycheck. So you need to be paid for putting this deal together and all of your work during that effort. So it's a lump sum deal that has all of it packaged together because it's a business. It's not just a conventional loan on the piece of real estate. It's everything you need. And so that is why I really love it instead of getting a loan for the real estate, a loan for the reno, a loan for this, a loan. It becomes way too much and your turnaround time, like hard money really doesn't work in this space because the turnaround time is too fast. So that's why private money is better. A 3 to 5 year payback timeline is a lot better for us, or the SBA because they're comfy with this, they understand it, they really know how to do that. And Joy, definitely not like I don't want to say it's not hard, but it's they're going to give you, hey, here's everything you need to turn in. And all it is paperwork, right? So it's turning in, here's the pro formas, here's the numbers, here's all my projections, here's when I'm going to cash flow. How do I know that? Because this is all the marketing and effort I'm going to put in. It's basically a business plan. So
Is
you're
it based
putting
on, so it's based on the business plan, not like the personal income, or it's not like a DSCR loan, or is it kind of like a DSCR loan in the sense that it's based off of the business itself?
it's based on both. They are looking at you. They want to make sure that you will pay it back too. So if
Mhm.
you have really low credit, then you may want to partner with somebody who has higher, right? And make sure that they're on
It's
there
similar to
too.
DSCR,
But
Joy,
But it's
because
not
with
like income
DSCR,
based.
you need good credit as well.
Hmm.
yeah,
It's asset-based lending.
yeah.
but not like personal DTI or income based.
No,
Yep. Okay, good. That's what I was wondering.
I'm going to put my friend's contact in here for everybody. His name is Bo. I'm getting his phone number now.
Awesome.
28261. We all need a network of lenders, don't we? So
Yes.
Bo does SBA lending. He used to do DSCR and he pivoted over to SBA and I think he's really cracked the code. He's done a great job.
I love it.
You can text him or call him. Joy, where are you located?
I am in Atlanta, Georgia, like
Oh,
outskirts in Lawrenceville,
that's right.
Georgia. Yep.
Love it.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Who else has
And
a question? We are here for you today. How about you, Valerie? Good timing, right? I could see your hand starting to move.
My grandson raised it, but
Oh,
yes.
I love it.
He just got off the bus.
I love it.
Yes, I do, though. We'll just Isabel, I'd like to meet with you at Richmond and
Yeah.
further our conversations, and I'm going to gather some more questions. I'm a retired nurse and I've worked in the homes, and I know most of them are atrocious, and I don't want that for people. So yeah, I'd love to get further into it with you, especially the SBA financing would be great too. Get more
Yep. I
details.
love it. Look forward to seeing you there.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
you two can meet in person, which will be awesome in
Yes,
2 weeks.
take you to lunch.
So we've also got a question here, Isabel. Tell us more about your course. How do they sign up for it? How long is it? How much does it cost? Like, how does it work?
Yes, we have a 3-day training. It's always in Phoenix, Arizona on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So feel free to come on out to warm, sunny Phoenix. We've got them about 8 times per year. Our next one literally starts this weekend. So January's done. This March one will be done, but there'll be 6 other options throughout the year. Typically, there we go. 3 days in Phoenix, 8 times per year. I love it. Typically, it's 4,997. I'm going to do a deal that I don't know if we've set up the code yet, but if not, it will be deal makers. And then that will give you guys a big mega discount, about $2,000 off of that ticket. So I will make sure, even right after this webinar, I'll get it set up because I want to make sure it's prepped and ready to go. But deal makers will bring it down to 2,000. If you'd like to bring a business partner or spouse, it's an additional 1,000. We just have the BBB rule. They've got to be your partner in bed, blood, or bank account, and hopefully not all three at the same time. All right.
Love it. Who else has a question?
I have a comment, which is
Good, Joy. I'm so glad you're
yeah.
with us today.
Oh, thanks. I just had a baby. I just want you to know that you like are glowing. You look amazing. And the fact that you're doing this 7 months pregnant, coughing, and just doing like killing it, like
Thank
so
you.
amazing.
Thank you. So sweet.
I love that, Joy. Thanks for pointing that out. There aren't enough people that love and encourage others. And
Thank you.
Joy, I will always remember that. I love that. And Isabel, you won't be the only one at Dealmaker that's pregnant because I know Rebecca Taylor is as well. I know
There we
one of our
go.
sponsors, so you guys can hang out.
I love it. We'll be the pregnant club.
I love babies. Our daughter Krista had a baby in December, Isabel, and so she may be there in and out a little too.
Oh, cute.
And
December what?
we had a boy. His name is Archie,
Oh,
and you'll probably meet him because he'll be in and out a little bit.
okay, good. I'm
Love
excited.
it.
Okay, well, everybody better be there. I hope to see you all very
Yeah, I'll put the
soon.
link in case. I mean, we're really close to sold out. We're gonna have over 300 people again. I really want to do this for Isabel, so I was trying not to put my own links in here. But isn't Isabel great? Do you guys think you could learn this? Like, I would just say, like, what is the one self-limiting belief that is keeping you from cash flowing $10,000 a month?
That's a great
Lean into
question.
that. Think about it a little bit. Chat GPT that. Isabel, is there any reason anybody on Zoom can't do this?
No, I always say the only thing that's stopping you is between your two ears.
Yeah, me
because
too.
it's like we've had our youngest student is was 17 in college, never owned his own real estate, right? No money, and he opened a care home. He lives in New Jersey, his care home's in Houston. So it doesn't even have to be where you live. Live where you want, invest where it makes sense. It could be anywhere. Our oldest student is 72 years old, right? And they were like, "Hey, I'm on my way out. I don't even know if I want to do this." But then they were like, "Hey, actually, my wife needs this," and ended up owning and operating their own care home. And so we've literally had the whole gambit from real estate background to nothing to old to young to men to women to everybody. So nothing can stop you except what you allow to stop you. And um, I heard this quote the other day and I wrote it down and I've been saying it all week long. It said, "Don't just live the length of your life, live the width of it." And I
Love
loved that.
that.
Yeah, because it's just so many of us just go to do what we're comfortable with and what that little next step is. And okay, this isn't going to challenge me that much. I know I can do it, but they're not willing to really take that jump to say, what's really the craziest thing I could do? What will really stretch me to be the biggest and best person that I could be? Because the only person that, at the end of the life who you ever disappoint is yourself, not anybody else. Everybody else is proud of you, they love you, whatever. You're the one who has to live with yourself of accomplishing everything you were here to do or not. So it's possible.
I love
Uh,
it. So don't be average. Like we were made for so much more than to be average, especially living here in the United States. We
yeah.
have every opportunity in the world. Like you guys know, I travel a lot with Share the Love. So I'm in third world countries every year. We were in El Salvador like 5 weeks ago or whatever it was. And we have so much to be grateful for here. Isabel, I was thinking about this in the night because I have a really nice, comfortable bed like all of us do. And I had this flashback to when I was in Nicaragua, and after we gave away wheelchairs, they took the boxes and they use them as their box springs. Like,
Mm,
and that's their bed. So, clean, unlimited drinking water, warm beds,
yeah.
AC. We got a lot to be grateful for. And I want you guys to know, like, we're grateful for you. And I'm telling you, I'm sure you can feel the love Isabel has. And the fact is, like, we believe all of you guys are capable of living to your full potential.
Yeah. Amen.
Any final words, Isabel?
Just do good and do well, you guys. If this is
Love
calling to
that.
you, don't sleep on it. Go for it. It is possible. It's right in front of
Aaron,
you.
it's so
And
good to see you on video today, too.
yes. And thank you all for being here. Appreciate your energy, your time, and can't wait to
How
see
many
so
of
many.
you guys will I see in 2 weeks at Dealmaker? Okay,
Woohoo.
awesome. Can't wait. All
Thank
right,
you.
big hugs. All right, have a great day, guys. Live to your full potential. No sense being average. This is not an average Zoom. And your network is your net worth. Add Isabel into your network, and we're all going to get better. Have a great day, everybody. Enjoy. See you guys
Bye,
later. Isabel,
guys.
thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. See
Thanks,
you guys
guys.
later.
Appreciate it. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.